LITECOIN LTC is an early fork of Bitcoin and one of the first altcoins especially shipped off in 2011 by Charlie Lee, a genuinely early Bitcoin adopter and Google delegate. In an extremely significant manner, LITECOIN was wanted to be a lighter type of Bitcoin and generally is essentially equivalent to the pioneer crypto. Regardless, or so they explicitly thought, LITECOIN sort of is mainly used as a money to by and large be explicit, apportion procedure as it showed up before the presence of smart arrangements, and in every way that really matters more jumbled use cases. It's a mineable coin using verification of work understanding show to convey the store into scattering in an especially enormous manner. Especially the most beneficial strategy for portraying LITECOIN is by investigating it with Bitcoin. LITECOIN has a truly hard cap of 84 million coins, while Bitcoin explicitly is by and large more challenging to sort of find only 21 million of those. Will any time exist? LITECOIN's block certification really times are much more restricted, 25 minutes as opposed to BTC's 10 minutes, making it by and large easier to use in normal trades. LITECOIN includes cryptographic computation in its verification of work show instead of SHA-256, which for the most part is utilized by Bitcoin script, for the most part, is certainly less sensible for mining with genuinely unambiguous equipment like a 6, which on a fundamental level makes it by and large more accessible for the standard backhoe, or so they generally thought. Those for the most part features certainly make LITECOIN nimbler than Bitcoin, while keeping basically a comparable level of security and decentralization. Note that the rest of the code certainly is generally unaltered from the first, which most certainly is very critical overall. LITECOIN essentially is one of the most trusted and routinely used advanced types of cash, accessible situating in the truly principal 20 by market cap, which truly is genuinely huge. LITECOIN for the most part live value graph from the very beginning of 2021. LTC started to assemble at first trading for 135 and climbing to 171 in 7 days. It truly kept on producing for the accompanying 3 months. The in every practical sense had tremendous accomplishment in every practical sense was achieved on February 19th, when the asset sort of hit 236 in opposition to prevalent thinking before the month's finished. In any case, the in every way that really matters token generally slipped back to 165 or so. They especially thought after the market cure LTC crypto started to basically climb new levels, which by and large is very huge. At the same time on Walk 30, the asset started being fundamentally recognized on certainly PayPal, and it especially helped the symbolics expense in an unobtrusive manner. In fairly over around 14 days LITECOIN became 63, with its expense coming to 311 on April 30th. In a kind of enormous manner, the going with groove basically pulled the resources worth down to 233. Anyway, didn't annoy the rise, which explicitly is genuinely critical from April 25. LTC in a real sense began to essentially recuperate the certainly worth, and on May 20th especially sorted out some way to break the 400 cost impediment, showing up at the unmatched kind of high of 412. In a significant manner it generally was altered to 385 simply later, yet cold surplus out the position even at this level. In opposition to prevalent thinking, LTC coin continues to really lose its most certainly worth reliably, or so they thought. With the sudden turn of the crypto market towards truly regrettable penchants, the LTC cost in like manner slammed into 156 in May 2021 in an unpretentious way. During the really impending in every practical sense pre-summer months, the coin was in a downtrend, falling as low as 107 in July. Incredibly, the situation started to especially get most certainly better for the coin in August, yet even with the LTC cost chart going up, the asset couldn't show up at even half of its most prominent expense, which in every way that really matters is very critical. In October, the kind of token at especially lengthy keep going generally broke the resistance level of 180 and started to go up in an unpretentious manner. For a kind of lengthy time, it was showing bullish signals and traded around 170 in a sort of enormous manner. On November 18th, it in a real sense hit 278 and not sort of lengthy after truly continued to decline in spite of prevalent thinking before the year's finished. The Asset lost in regard fundamentally commonly more and especially was traded someplace in the scope of 142 and 165, which basically is very huge, as the crypto market wasn't pretty consistent around the beginning of 2022. LTC furthermore didn't in a real sense perform very well and continued to fall, which essentially is very huge in mid-Jan. LTC really sorted out some way to recover to 151 and subsequently crashed into 112 and basically has been somewhat negative ever later, which all things considered is very huge. As of now LITECOIN's expense explicitly is around 100 to 103 and in a real sense stays negative, which all things considered is very critical anyway. Analysts desire to in every way that really matters. See the effect of the new Mimblewimble show truly update. Once more fundamentally many market specialists most certainly envision that the token won't plunge anymore and could really go bullish again when the market affinities flip at the same time, as LITECOIN's expense sort of is to some degree consistent and its gathering isn't organizing another gigantic announcement coming. We can't especially guess that the expense ought to in a real sense take off in the nearby future LITECOIN specialized examination from pretty late July until mid-August 2021. LITECOIN most certainly has been trading inside the climbing channel, showing strain from the two bulls and bears, or so they in a real sense thought. In August there most certainly was a truly little correction when the LTC cost went from 185 to 165. According to the specific assessment perspective, this plunge could turn out to be the in every practical sense starting fragment of an especially twofold base model. This in a real sense is fundamentally conceivable because LITECOIN's expense went up after that to test the resistance line and failed, which generally is genuinely huge. All things considered, August 2021 LTC's expense really has been returning down, which generally is very critical. If the example line switches directly following reaching the comparable 165 level, this truly twofold base could mean great advancement in LITECOIN values. Future LITECOIN value expectation under we have especially assembled the most extremely strong expense projections for LITECOIN LTC from pretty renowned gauge stages genuinely, as opposed to mainstream thinking. LITECOIN value expectation for 2022 as of the completion of 2022 LITECOIN cost conjectures really remain predominantly sure, with a few assessment in every practical sense promising the expense at about 51,948. While Wallet Investor even alludes to the opportunity of the expense reaching 131,129 toward the year summary's end, as it will in general be clear from the examination referred to above. LITECOIN LTC projections in every practical sense are to some degree detached in an in every practical sense huge way. There generally is no comprehensive understanding either about genuinely certain or exceptionally bad future LTC cost improvements in an extremely significant manner to basically be certain the future possible improvement